Loading. All right, guys, we're here. We're live. Welcome to a brand new Poker Life podcast. My name is Joey Moine, aka Chicago Joey. Joined today in person with you can't quite say it. We're on her Mac right now because in LA there's like 7 hours of traffic, and I to get back to my hotel and come back here, it was not going to be a GTO. So we came over here. We're doing it on the best computer ever, the Apple iMac, and we're here with
not an iMac, no.
What's it called?
A MacBook.
I don't have them. I don't know what it's called, honestly. I don't have one of these. Okay, a MacBook Air. But we're here with the American Poker Award nominated
loser.
The aspiring WPT Player of the Year, the former Deep Stack No Limit Cash Game player that we all came to love the first time we had her on the podcast, cheated on the cash game world and turned into a tournament player. Who's out here in LA playing the LAPC,
yeah.
And she currently has this amazing hair that everyone. What were we gonna say? What do you think I was gonna say about the hair?
Just exactly that.
No, I love the hair. This light doesn't even do it justice. But we got Cate Hall on the pod. Welcome back, Cate.
Hey guys.
How are you doing? How are you feeling?
Feeling pretty awesome. I busted out of LAPC yesterday, and now I have a few days off before I have to do anything. So I'm just enjoying LA.
Do you like LA out here? Is this like your scene, the Cate Hall scene right here?
I love the weather.
I actually have an alcoholic drink these podcasts lately. I'm not sure if this is smart, but the weather is fucking amazing. It's great.
It's like a very beautiful area. I think that I would not want to live in LA, though.
Why not?
Just because
traffic.
No.
We can't even see the tattoo. You got to. They need to see you more than me. Like you're like you got the swag.
Yeah,
I got like the tank top. Yeah, you got this.
Listen,
you're the one that's got the swag here. Like they don't want to. They see me all the time. They want to see. They want to see the Cate Hall here. So.
I think that LA is just sort of like. Sorry to anybody from LA, but is sort of culturally obsessed with money and attractiveness, and I just think that they're really boring.
But you don't think you can find a different subsection of people out here that are more into different types of things or different types of? I feel like that's probably like a certain subsection of LA, like they're into power, the money, attractiveness, but at the same time, it's a huge place. Like you'll be able to find a different demographic of people who are also into all sorts. I mean, with the internet, you can find a meetup group for anything these days.
Yes. I mean, I don't think that living in LA would be like a death sentence.
Yeah, it certainly would not be a death sentence out here. I love it out here, man. There's so many people. There's so much to do. The food. There's a Staples Center right here. Shout out to the Lakers. Shout out to the Clippers. Obviously friends of mine. I might be going to the game tomorrow, so I'm pretty excited about that. So, but yeah, guys, we're gonna get into the pod here. Guys on YouTube, we're only on YouTube tonight. If you have any comments, we can still see them. I see a lot of regs out in the chat. This is one of your boys, right? Matt, how do you say Matt's last name? Matt Haugen, how do you say his last name?
I think Haugen.
Matt Haugen, shout to Matt.
Matt, I'm sorry, I've never asked you how to pronounce your last name, so that could be wrong.
We got Matt out there. We got my boy Torin. What's up, puppy? Marco, my boy Marco, Bert, Steve. What's up, boys? Questions, comments are appreciated. And let's get it. What, Cate? You never did the Kenosha Kid? What's that mean? What's the Kenosha Kid?
I have no idea what that means.
The Kenosha Kid?
Yeah, I don't even know what one of those words is. So.
All right, sir. You're gonna have to try that statement again. We got my boy Fanny Pack Fritz Barnes in the chat, aka Becca's dad, aka my future stepfather. What's up, Fanny Pack Fritz? Welcome to the pod. I know it's late out there. It's really late out there actually on the East Coast right now. So I appreciate you tuning in, Jamal. Bobbing Mats, what's up, boys? Puppies. All right, so let's go, man. Where do we go? Where should we start? Should we start with Ike Hollywood Haxton proclaiming Cate Hall to be one of his poker crushes on the podcast we did at the PC? How'd that make you? How'd that make you feel?
I think that was the most exciting thing that's happened to me in poker for the last few months. So let's definitely hone in on that.
I'm trying to get I don't. I saw that first on here. I got to talk about Hollywood. I think he's like really he's yours crush. How does it make you feel though?
Awesome. That's very flattering. Insanely aroused. Is that what I should say?
No. You can say whatever.
I like Ike. Everybody likes Ike.
I asked that for one reason, because I never see him favorite anybody favored when you said you're gonna be on the podcast. I'm like what the hell? Like, why did he? So I figured I'm gonna give him a shout out right away, get him out of there. That way you don't have to, he's like a busy guy out in Malta.
Now you can tune out Ike.
Please, Ike, please tune out. That's it. Now we can actually start at the top there. So results since the last podcast. Obviously, since the last podcast, we had you on. You final tabled an event straight away once you start jumping into tournaments. And since then, you've had some more success, correct?
Yeah.
Tell people if they haven't been following along with you. If they haven't, that's weird. Please follow along with Cate. But tell them about the exciting thing that's been happening with you.
So the big thing that happened was that in December, I final tabled the 5-diamond WPT event at Bellagio, which was pretty awesome. Yeah.
So you final tabled 2 big events in like very short period of time span, right? That's crazy. And did you just kind of start playing tournaments, right?
Yeah, I started my first ones are really over the summer, and didn't know what I was doing or even really try to figure that out until after the summer. So it's been a pretty short tournament career.
So, do you think tournaments are easy? But you obviously you were are you still a deep stack minimum cash game player?
Yeah, I'm still spending maybe 50% of my time playing cash. So
you feel like the transition over from playing that format to playing minimum tournaments, which obviously is played a lot short stack, you feel like that's easy, obviously variance apart, but at the same time, do you think that it can translate over well if you work at it?
Yeah, I think that, obviously there's a lot of overlap between the early stages of a tournament and cash play. And I sort of fall into the camp that thinks that the early stages of a tournament are important and not just something that you should skip.
Right, like the big time guys who skip the first levels and they
the
all
first
right.
9 levels, yeah.
Right.
Especially because that's where bad players are making sizable mistakes for big portions of their stack.
Mm-hmm.
You still have that in short stack play, but you don't have you can't pick up as many big blinds, I guess, late in the day based on mistakes, because the mistakes just can't be that big when you're
when you're short effective, right? I guess they can't be that big in terms of, they can still be big in terms of you make a big mistake deep in a tournament and you get eliminated, I guess, from that standpoint. But I don't know, I'm semi intrigued about wanting to learn tournaments, but then every time I play one, I'm just this is fucking terrible.
They can be really frustrating.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating when you go deep in a tournament and are doing well, but not spectacularly well. And then you have to sit on a 30 to 40 big blind stack for 2 or 3 days, not really playing any pots.
And that's the thing that you're supposed to be doing in that situation.
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense. It doesn't sound fun, but it is fun, right? When you final table events.
Yeah, when it goes well, it's the best feeling in the world.
So you're WPT Player of the Year. You are where you at right now? That you're doing?
I'm leading.
You're leading.
Yeah.
How's it feel to be leading WPT
Pretty
Player
cool.
of the Year? Feels cool, right?
It's pretty cool.
Feels cool, right? It's exciting. That's sweet.
Almost certainly going to lose the lead.
Nah. Well, it's okay. You're gonna lose the lead. I was gonna say you're gonna lose. I'm nah. We're positive around here, so I'm pretty sure you're gonna win. The podcast run good.
Definitely gonna win. Yeah, this is why I needed to come on the podcast again, because I needed a little juice to get me through the rest of the season.
So you would admit that you coming on the podcast the first time is probably 125% of the reason why you final table that first event, right? The podcast run good. I give all my life run good on the podcast run good. So
yeah, at least 120%.
But that second one was you though, man. So I don't like that. Now I'm
no, but then I was on the podcast again.
Oh shit, you were. Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Every time I've been on the podcast, I final tabled a WPT within a month. So
small sample size, obs, but 2 out of 2.
But
that's
2 out of 2, right? That's
you realize I tried to do this before the main event with you, because I was I'll give you a little podcast main event run good here. But
I should have done it.
We had the awards and all the conference. The awards. Did you have fun at the awards? You were obviously you're at my table. Shout out to my table. And Sam Abernathy was there. Charter, Gordo, my girl, Rebecca. Shout out to Rebecca. Jonathan Little, Faraz Shaka, and his young South African love partner were there. And who's that other guy? Dave? What was that guy's name?
Dave.
Shout out to Dave. Any other thing eventful happened that you can remember at the conference this year? Anything fun? Or the awards? Did you enjoy the awards besides us?
Yeah, I thought the awards were fun. Our table went 0 for 4 on the awards, which was
it's too sick.
Brutal.
So you were nominated for Breakout Player of the Year, which how do you think about? Like, do you feel like that was an award that was fitting for you in terms of you feel like you're breaking out? Do you think I feel like in terms of getting your name out there, like making waves, having people know who you are, you've broken out pretty well, obviously with Twitter.
I mean, it's hard to say. Like, there are new players that probably had better years than I did. And I think that I was nominated because I had a good year, 1. 2, because it had like just happened that I'd final tabled the 5 diamonds. So it was like fresh in everybody's minds.
Recency bias.
Yeah.
Right.
And then 3, because like people like me or know of me, at least for reasons other than me having like a good performance at a couple of events, just because I've been sort of all over Twitter. I sort of think that if I don't know if I would have been nominated for it if I weren't on Twitter, honestly.
So do you think that matters at all in the grand scheme of things? Do you think that makes a difference? Or, because some people are obviously like, all right, like this person should just go by, results or success. It shouldn't go by these other things shouldn't play a difference. I feel like they should play a difference because those things, in my opinion, matter when it comes to a breakout star. I think someone like Josh Beckley, who went deep in the main event, I mean, he's not a breakout fucking star. You can't call him a breakout star. Like you're not a breakout star, I mean, whatever. I don't consider that type of thing a star, but I consider someone like you, I think a lot more people are starting to become familiar with you. I mean, I don't think you're polarizing. I don't think most people either love or hate you. I think most people really like you. They really are scared of you, or they think you're cool. They think you're really, really good at like 1 or 2 or 3 different things. So like they mostly like you. Like everyone I've met, because I talked about we're in the pot out here, no one's like, yeah, I fucking hate Cate Hall.
There are some.
Yeah, but those are like those are like the shadows, the basement guys. I don't think many people who like opinions you might value or respect are going to be like, yeah, I dislike Cate Hall.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
So when it comes to putting it back to the breakout star, I think that's what makes it justified to me. I think that's a great choice for it. Is someone, I think that is my definition of what I feel like is a breakout star in poker right now.
Yeah, I guess I'm not even really sure what the criteria are supposed to be. So I'm not sure how to rate my deservingness compared to other people who might have been up for it.
Yeah.
But I can like envision criteria by which it's not crazy that I was nominated for it.
Trust me, I don't know what the criteria was either, because they put me up.
You were on the nomination panel.
Well, I was in the nomination panel. Shout out to me. I did vote for my girl Cate Hall, of course, for the nomination. But that wasn't the jury awards. There's a nomination panel and then there's a jury.
Yeah. And
I was nominated for an award too. Shout out to me. I lost Poker Media Person of the Year. My boy Donnie Peters took that down. Congratulations to Donnie. And but yeah, we did not. Our table did not go well at the awards. What do you think about
Who else was nominated?
Gordo was nominated for Performance of the Year. Obviously, he's never going to win that with McKeon and with Zeno, who have some. They did well in that category. And then Faraz Shaka was nominated for Content of the Year, which obviously was a very questionable nomination on his end, considering he worked with CNN, which is one of the top things to create that. So, but our table, we sucked it up, but it's cool. It's okay.
It was a good time anyway.
I think I really like the event.
Yeah.
Like, I love the awards. It was just like you just see people dressed up. Like you're in your dress. Sam Abernathy's in her dress. All the guys are. I'm in like a suit with like a vest. Like things you never see these people in. Like I'm in a tank top normally like this, and you're pretty much chilling like this most of the time, right?
I really am like in a t-shirt or a tank top every day, and I never have occasion to dress up. So it was kind of fun.
I know, that's kind of what I saw. Like someone's like, "Are you dressing up?" I'm like, "Hell yes! I got these nice clothes. I want to wear them." Like,
it's like going to the prom once a year.
It is kind of going to the prom, yeah. You brought your date this year with Sam.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sam. She was a fun date. She left LA quick though. That was sad.
I know. She was out the door and like in Las Vegas 4 hours later.
I know. It was pretty pretty sad story. Shout out to Sam. We miss you, Sam. I know you're watching. Shout out to Poppy. I know Poppy's watching you with you sitting on the lap in the bed right now.
It's so weird to have the chat open. I've never looked at the chat during one of our podcasts because I just figured there was nothing good that could come of it.
I mean, look at these great comments in there. You know, I would marry Cate Hall. I would just fuck Sam Abernathy. I mean, when you miss out on great Twitch, on great YouTube live stream comments like that, how could you not want to watch the chat while you see that? You know. But this is kind of this guy's great. I like this guy, Drake. I think this is one of Matt Marifiati, one of his friends from Canada. So shout out to him. I always enjoy his comments. He sometimes leaves some borderline questionable comments, but yeah, obviously the live stream is sometimes distracting. I usually navigate 2 live stream chats with comments, with follow-up stuff, and then with the video. So
that's a lot of responsibility.
I'm used to 24 table and PLO. So this is kind of like very yeah. And also, okay, so you were on the conference. So Cate, listen to Cate. Cate got on the conference this year. There's 5 panels. She was on the Women in Poker conference, or the Women in Poker section of things, which, okay, so it was Sarah Herring, my girl Sarah Herring was the moderator. There was 5 people on the panel. I thought it was a non-GTO number of people because in that situation it was you, Liv, it was Allison from Jacksonville, it was Lupe from Lips Poker, and it was the girl that works for Poker Stars. She wrote the Play Poker like a I can't remember the exact name of the book, but I really like her too. She's smart. But so what do you think about the conference? Because a lot of people said that you were trying to think of the wording I got from some people here. You were fired up. You were given like some eyes. You might have not been looking at people in the most friendly type of way. You were fired up. You were sort of taking it over. In retrospect, what was your opinion about the conference? What did you think about that?
It's so fun. I think I talked to you after the fact and said, like I might have mentioned that I'd heard a couple of people having this reaction, and my sense the whole time that I was speaking was that I was like trying to rein in my 100%. Natural tendency to 100%. Debate. Yeah, and I felt like I was much more quiet than is my nature, and definitely wasn't shooting people dirty looks, but that just might be the way that my face looks when I'm not.
So here's what I was thinking. So like, let's pretend you're Sarah. So you're sort of like towards Sarah like this, really deep. And then when the other person's speaking, you'd kind of like look at them like really deep. Like, so I can understand how people might perceive that to be like, she's like.
That's just me being an idiot about body language.
You really get, that's the way you like pay attention to things, that you give it like that intense. I see some people are different. Like some people give the intense stare. Some people smile like you're doing now and they do that. Some people you know, they do like different things, different sets of like communication skills or communication ways.
And it just sort of seems like natural to be somber and focused during a panel where you're like listening to other people speak. So
right. And I have to say, I thought that you were not fired up at all during the questions, because I like just from like chatting with you and having you on the pod, and like I know you can get fired up by a lot of these topics. So the things discussed on the panel, I know Cate feels strongly about all of these things discussed very strongly, and feels strongly against some of the things that might have been said by the other panel members. So, and I actually did ask a question, shout out to me once again, and I asked a question that I knew Cate would get a little fired up about, when shout out to Lupe was in the panel, and she said, why don't you guys, as poker media, I guess I'm not grouping myself in that, but she said, why don't you guys feature a section in a magazine or a section on something where you talk about women in poker?
Right.
And I asked the question, I was like, well, you know, from learning from my friend Cate Hall, she's been teaching me like I should treat all poker players equally. So in that situation, why would you want to put a special section in a magazine about a woman who's not having, you know, if she's having okay results when there's men out there who are having much, much, much better results? Why wouldn't you want to focus on them or feature them over these women just because they're women? And I agree that I think it's a good idea to feature women just to get women's story out there. But I don't think you feel the same way about that. I think that you should sort of treat all players equal in that instance, and you shouldn't single out a woman for having okay results just because she's a woman.
Yeah, I just like, it's mostly that I don't think that poker media should be like socially obligated to highlight women if their results really don't justify it. I mean, they are presumably in a good position to know what is going to be of interest to their readers. And if they are running an article on a man who won a major tournament as opposed to a woman who won like a side event or like final tabled some event. That's because news interest dictates it. And I think that like focusing too much on women who have somewhat impressive but like not really spectacular results can be counterproductive because it contributes to this sense of resentment that a lot of people have in the poker community about women getting more attention than men.
But okay, so I think the idea to feature women in some capacity is a good idea. You know, I've thought about doing well, I actually don't want to say that because it's a great idea. I'll say it after the podcast is over.
Something with women though. So.
Right, but like, I think just getting more women out there, like your girl, Grace, right? From like just talking about these women where'd she go to school at? She went to like Yale or
She's
something?
Going to Yale right now.
Right, like, obviously like a smart person, probably like, if she focused on poker, she'd be great at poker, but just like getting women not as like out there, just a platform for them to be out there, platform for them to get noticed. But you think that's actually kind of productive because it's going to build up more resentment from a lot of male poker players because, well, why are these guys featured and I'm not featured? I'm in the same situation. But at the same time, like, isn't it, you don't think it has some good that comes out of it, though, just to get women's story out there and give other women a chance to like see these people being featured? And
I think there's potentially some good to come out of it. And my point is not so much that like definitively you shouldn't feature women without the same results as men that you're featuring. It's more like an empirical question. And I think it's too easy to just say, obviously featuring more women is better for women in poker, because it could be the case that the opposite is true, that it doesn't really increase engagement by enough to offset the like harm that comes from men feeling resentful and having that like affect the general culture of the community. So it's like, it's more like there's a trade-off, and I don't want to make a claim based on too little evidence that one side is definitely better than the other.
I guess it's kind of hard, obviously, figuring out the variables in that situation are sort of impossible. You can't really figure out what's, what this one, cause might have the effect for that. So it's sort of it's something interesting to think about, though. I mean, I guess I've always thought about it like more publicity for women is probably always going to be better, but I can definitely understand how that might not be the case because when you factor in the resentment part. At the same time,
every time I like talk about sexism in poker, and how unpleasant certain experiences can be, somebody responds with, well, women have like all these endorsements, they get so much coverage, like you're a famous bitch, deal with it, and I think that like it just makes it too easy for people who want to dismiss other issues for women in poker to be like,
sort of like their cop out, that's sort of their thing, right? That's
you get this other stuff, so like that's fine, so it's complicated.
So what do you think about, let's take our mutual friend Sam Abernathy. So Sam Abernathy gets third and they Aussie Million stuff, and now she's sort of like, obviously like she's my friend, so it's cool opportunity to have her on the pod, but at the same time she's getting a lot of this coverage, a lot of this other stuff that a lot of men that finished third in a 10K event or something like that didn't necessarily get. So from your standpoint, what do you think about something like that?
Well,
and obviously this is a unique situation at the same time, so like we know Sam better. Like, I mean, I feel like, Sam's one of the most talented people I know when it comes to like just pure ability in life at like doing cool things. Yeah. So I'm a little partial. I can understand why she's had a lot of that, success that came with that. But, from your standpoint, from the way you see things, what do you think about that?
I think like Sam Abernathy is a great example of how poker media does pick up stories about women when there is reader interest. Like nobody would have argued that she shouldn't receive a bunch of attention because everybody wanted to hear about it. It was like the poker story of the week or month, Yeah. She's just like a media juggernaut by herself. And so when there are stories that people care about, like poker media picks up on them and they don't have to sort of force feed them to people. I mean, you compare that to like, I mean,
Careful. They're going to be coming after you, Kate. Hold on.
Like, if somebody had written an article about me being the last woman standing in the Borgata WPT a month or so ago, like, that would happen. That, like, happens frequently, is, like, last woman standing type articles, even in not the main event. And it's like, who cares about that?
Right.
Nobody cares.
So if it's something written about a woman that people will care about, then it should be something that definitely has interest to people out there.
I mean, it's more a response to, like, the criticism that media should be doing more. It seems like media does do a totally fine job of picking up stories about women when there's greater interest for it. And so it's hard to make a strong case that they need to be doing a lot more than what they're doing.
Do you feel like that was what the conference, if you want to watch the panel, it's on the Twitch, twitch.tv/GPI. It's on their video manager page. You can watch it on there. It is the second panel of the day. The first panel is the esports panel. The second panel was the women in poker panel. So you should be able to go ahead and check it out. It'll probably be on YouTube at some point in time as well. If you want to find that on replay and you want to see Kate, give him the Kate treatment. Give him the who's that woman? Medusa, right? The Medusa thing. She gives them the stare and they die and they freeze.
Yeah.
I feel like I could get that from one of your faces.
I'm working on it. Yeah.
You trying to get the Timex?
Like,
you trying to get the Timex stare?
My stare. I don't know if you've seen any of the pictures of me.
I saw that picture you posted. I mean, you sort of like you were partying for like 14 days straight. So
like every picture of me in poker media is just like just expression.
What about that one on your Twitter? That one, the Twitter profile.
Right after I doubled on the final table of the 5 Diamond, it was like the only time I've ever smiled at poker.
But you don't smile regularly. I think there was a chat from, I think Valerie Carney's in the chat. I think her name's Valeria. I wanted to make sure I'm pronouncing it right. I want to give her a shout out here. She mentioned something like that. Yeah, Valerie Carney. What's up, Valerie? Mamacita, welcome to the, is that okay? Papacita, Mamacita.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, Mamacita, welcome to the pod. Yeah, she was talking about something to do with the smiling or something like that. You hear a lot of people say, like, why don't women smile all the time? Like, why aren't you smiling? Yada, yada, yada. I mean, I think we've discussed that particular thing before. But
yeah, it's pretty common.
But your stare, right? So let me see. Show them your stare real quick. Like, are you trying to? So this is supposed to be intimidating, right?
It's just like gaze right at them.
What are you like looking at? Like, what's GTO? Are you looking in their eyes? Are you looking at their their soul? Or what's the?
I'm generally looking at. I mean, sometimes I'm doing it just to fuck with people's heads. Sometimes I'm doing it to get information, and the two are not always really that separable because people are more likely to give information when they are nervous.
I don't have it. Damn it. I don't have the stare. You have a much more meaner look than I do.
I think I do.
Look nicer than you.
Default mean look.
Yeah, I know. The RGB, resting bitch face, right? RBG, is that what it's called? I don't have the rest. I like the happy guy face. I don't have the resting bitch. Like I love that face because like this is like dating trap. When you're dating a girl who's like happy, I don't know. I like the girls who look mean. Like I like a girl who looks mean. You know, she's like knows how to tell a guy. You know, like if she was like fuck away from me, dude. Like I don't know. I feel like. Is resting? Can we say resting bitch? I don't know. Is that? I know. I love the chats. Like, is that okay? I gotta edit. Kate's she's my guy checker for these comments. You know, I want to make sure. Is that good? Is that Kate Hall approved?
Yeah.
All right, good. I'm always worried in some pods. I'm always like, I don't know if Kate's gonna like message me for this. You know?
I've watched some of your pods where you're like, okay, I hope Kate Hall's not watching.
Yeah. I get scared. I don't want Kate popping up in my DMs like, like what the fuck did you say, Joey? Or sending me a text or something. I'm like, that's like one of my nightmares. So I was gonna leave a comment on that picture on your Twitter of like when you say something dumb and you fucked up on the feminist level and then DM. So
yeah, it's my Terminator face.
Yeah. What do you think about the last couple months? Obviously, you've had some good results. You were 5-6 before this weekend in cashes and WPTs.
Yeah, and I was 5-5 the week before that. Let's go back to that point in time.
Okay, so let's go back to a couple when you were 5-5 in cashes. Yeah. So obviously, you're getting a lot more notoriety right now. A lot more people know who you are. How does that make you feel? How do you like? Do you feel the same? Do you feel more pressure? Do you feel like you gotta maybe be more that Kate Hall Twitter person, like more often when you interact with these people? Because when you're playing poker, you're focused. You want to play. When you're on Twitter, you sometimes get a little fired up. Like how you sort of handling that?
You know, I like in person in real life, I tend to like to spend a lot of time alone, and like not really talk to people for one thing at poker tournaments because I just like want to clear my mind on breaks and uh, not deal with sort of interacting with people that I don't know very well. And so just like having people come up and talk to me that I don't know is a little bit, I don't really like it. But that's just like a personal preference thing. And I've met some really cool people through poker recently that I'm sure that I wouldn't have otherwise had the opportunity to meet. So
that's good and bad, right? Yeah, I think that's what's the cool thing about when you get more notoriety. Obviously, you get to meet a lot more people. You meet people you might not want to interact with, but you know, for me, I guess for me, I probably view it differently. Like I like to give everybody a chance when I meet somebody. Like you never really, you know, they might start off sounding like the biggest fish in the world, but you know, like they could have some sort of, you know, something might come from it. You never know.
You probably don't have like 3 complete strangers coming up to talk to you every break, though. Yeah.
Well, I don't play much tournaments. Like, I think shout out to me for being a cash game player, not cheating on cash games, Cate. Like you cheated on them for the glory. But I might cheat on them too soon, so I can't say anything. So, but yeah, you've
tournaments are everybody. It's really easy. It turns out to just crush tournaments.
Yeah, but did you get drafted by the GPO?
Potential
wildcard Cate Hall. You think so? I could see wildcard Cate Hall.
I mean, anything could happen. I'm not really holding my breath on that one. The teams that were drafted, I thought I completely understood why I was not picked for it.
All right, let's go back to that. Let's go back to what you were talking about. So getting approached by people, you know, while you're at these things. So obviously it's becoming more and more frequent. It's probably going to keep becoming more and more frequent as you become, you know, a bigger breakout name, so to say. And by the way, someone asked about Hollywood accent. I asked about Hollywood accent saying Cate is poker crush.
You're right.
I had to just get that out of the way fast. I didn't want to start. I know you're gonna get mad at me because like, you want to start results. You want to focus on the bread and butter.
No,
that was like a shocking revelation when he said that. Hollywood accent, a married man, came out and said Cate Hall is like one of my poker crush. That was like a huge thing.
Is it shocking that he said anybody because he's married? Okay.
It's shocking he said anybody. He's fucking married. Hollywood. I didn't know that was GTO. He's like the Mr. Dream Machine guy. So if he says you can call another woman and say, I really like her, like she's my like.
That seems completely fine to me. So completely fine.
I feel like he might have said something else in this. I think he implied like there might have. I took it. We were drinking whatever at the time. I took it some type of way. I was like, oh shit, man, that's gonna Cate Hall. So I was gonna pursue. I
think he might have been like reading subtext that wasn't there.
I promise you, I was not. I promise you, I was not. But that's another story for another time. But I just want to say, I was so excited to talk about that because that was like the most shocking revelation from that podcast.
I was curious about the most exciting thing that's happened to me in poker in months.
You were trolling me, dude. You were like, why don't you talk about Joey? Why aren't you talking about my fifth? Why aren't you talking about my fifth in WPT? Why are we starting off with this? This isn't a good thing for the women in poker debate sort of thing. But I'm with you. That's what I'm saying. It's Hollywood Haxton, not like Hollywood Haxton. No. It's Hollywood Haxton.
Hollywood Haxton.
All right, let me go back. Now we went off a tangent there. All right, so on break stealing people. It's not fun, it sounds like. It's not enjoyable. Not a thing for you, huh?
It's just the volume of it. And I mean, I really am pretty introverted, and like talking to strangers is not my idea of a good time at all. And so I tend to like recoil from that a little bit. But I have met a lot of awesome people in the last few months, especially playing poker. And it's just like, I'm happy that I'm trying to make some effort to get to know people in this community.
Mm-hmm. Who's like the people you've really liked that you met? You got a chance to meet?
Matt Hogan. Shout out to Matt Hogan in the chat. You know, just a bunch. I feel like I'm gonna like offend people if I forget to name them.
You won't,
because like some of you guys are really awesome. I'm gonna forget anyway.
And they're definitely people watching.
I know people I've been talking to a lot are like Dan O'Brien, Sam Abernathy.
Stop it! Don't get PC on me. Stop it. Let's back up. Stop. You're gonna get PC. You're gonna get PC. I feel like you're gonna name a list of like 10 people right now.
I'm telling you the people who I've like met in the last few months and I really like. I can stop at that.
Go ahead. I want your list. Who's on the list? Dan. Mr. Loki Savage himself.
Yeah.
Sam Abernathy. Okay.
Dave Paredes.
Okay. Gaucho. Shout out to Gaucho in a hike today, and he handled it pretty well for having ACL surgery. I'm impressed by his ability to climb up the mountain in LA here. We didn't see you there, Kate, by the way.
I was sleeping.
Okay.
I was out late last night.
2 p.m. I understand why you'd be sleeping. So, all right, who's else on this list? Who else are the people that you've really liked in poker?
I've been hanging out a bit lately with Liv and Igor, and they're just amazing. Who else? Did I say Dave Paredes? I did say that. Jamie Kerstetter. I know I'm like forgetting people who I've become good friends with, and I feel gross now. The rest of you too. I'll just leave it open-ended.
I mean, you meet a lot of people though, so it happens, right?
Yeah, but I'm sure that there's somebody I've been like texting with constantly for the last few months, and I'm just gonna look like a dick, but that's okay. They'll know.
Nah, I don't think so. I mean, I have the same problem. Like we were talking about this before the podcast. I feel like I just sometimes forget people, and I don't mean to forget them, but it's just like you have so much.
I'm like on the spot. If I could, prepare a list of my friends if you want.
Well, that's the thing about like I don't know if you asked me who I've been talking, who I really like in poker. I don't know who the fuck. I'm sure I forget people for sure. So, what do I really like in poker? It's actually a good question. I really like Kate Hall. I like Kate. She's cool. She's too big time on these trips, though, man. I'm trying to see Kate Hall. I like to see people I actually like in these trips, sort of thing. Like I told you, I just say yes to everything on these things. Like last night, we ended up at a what's it called when men are dressed as women and they're dancing? Is that called transsexual, transgender, ladyboy? What's that called?
A drag show?
It was something like that, but there was men dressed as women dancing, lip singing, having a good time. There were guys jumping on guys. It wasn't my idea to go there, of course, because it would have been a fun idea. But people always look at you if they go to like a club like that. They think that you might be in that step. But I went there with a couple of young women. Shout out to them. And,
good save. Good thing you mentioned that.
Nah, whatever. But people, the podcast people, they're like,
okay, the podcast people.
Shout out to my girlfriend, of course. She went back home to Chicago right now, so I can't be going out to like clubs where there's women trying to, get up on you. So instead, I choose the place where guys try to get up on you, and I gotta say it's uncomfortable. I understand how women feel. Like you're just there trying to enjoy yourself, have a good time, dance a little bit, drink with your friends, and there's some black guy coming up to you being like, so sexy. I'm like, oh, damn, okay. Like, I feel a little violated. I understand how women feel completely now because.
Completely.
Yeah, I don't understand. I want to go rail Kate. Pause. I want to go rail Kate, rail RIAL when she's getting hit on by these guys in these situations, just to see like what it's really like from.
I think that's how all forms of rail are spelled, so that doesn't really clarify it.
Is that true?
I think so.
Yeah, pause. Okay. Yeah, rail. I said, whatever. It's okay. I'm not gonna reach that right now. But I just want to see what it's like for like some women just these like aggro dudes that come up to you and they start feeling like I don't know. It's like they feel like a sense of I'm saying this is ridiculous. I never thought I'd say something like this, but it feels like I don't know, man. They seem like out of line, like really out of line. Like why are you like touching me, or why are you like?
That is like the female experience is like having men put their hands on you without knowing you or like any sort of invitation.
Right. It's like
I'll just be sitting in a chair at a tournament and some random old guy will come up and start massaging my shoulders and tell me how beautiful I am, and he like thinks that this is okay because he's 60 and a white man and or whatever, and it's just so bewildering every time it happens and so like creepy.
Yeah, why I don't understand why some people think that's like in line, that's acceptable to do. I don't know. I don't know. It seems it makes sense, Maybe it's like it's because I didn't say no to anything, but I guess it's like maybe it's interesting that I went to that experience and like you get like a small portion of some of the things that women deal with, and obviously you're getting a lot of advances at the tables from these guys. But okay, so you started trying to go on you sort of taken the lead. I feel like you've taken the lead in the poker community from women trying to like stop these sort of things from happening.
My crusade.
Your crusade. How's it been? Do you feel like it's had any sort of impact? We talked about this last time too. You personally, there's probably an impact, but overall, do you feel like there's a sense of people treating the situation differently, maybe spreading awareness, maybe talking with other people about it too?
Yeah, it's like hard to assess because part of the problem is that I never know if my experience is representative. And that's especially true when it's something like this where I'm like really vocal about these issues and people might be responding differently to me than to other women at the table.
Right.
I feel like the personal treatment that I've gotten has gotten significantly better over the course of the last 6 to 8 months. And it seems like everybody, like this issue at least, is on the radar of most people in the poker community.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, people are just a little bit more thoughtful, I guess, about the way that they're acting and things that they say.
I think we talked about this before. It's going to take time. It's not something that's going to happen overnight.
Yeah,
it might take a year. It might take 3 years. It might something.
Or just like a century or something. I mean, modest improvement is much better than no improvement.
Yeah, I mean, I guess from your standpoint, all you can do is try and put effort in to make it better for you or for other women.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, so one thing I may have, when I told people, like, they're like, what are you doing here in LA? I'm like, I'm doing a pod, at least one pod with Cate Hall. I heard some people mention some things like maybe you towards other women at the table, there might be some type of thing. Like, do you feel like you treating other women, or women treating you? Do you feel like there's some things, or do you feel like there's, it's always, is it, does it always have to be like this positive, like, hey, let's lift each other up, or both women in poker? Or do you feel like there's sometimes been situations where a woman or you might have been, sort of, I guess, a little aggressive or mean or something like that to other people at the tables or in your interactions playing live?
Honestly, like, I'm familiar with the phenomenon that you're describing from general life experience.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember any time ever that another woman has been rude to me or made me feel weird at a poker table.
Mm-hmm.
And my experience has been that, like, top female players who are obviously in a position where they could be envious of one another and, like, have the temptation to be disagreeable are uniformly, like, wonderful people and just awesome with one another. And I think that's been true to a larger extent for poker than in any community I've been in before.
So what about the people who haven't had that much success? Obviously, you speak about, women who have success, but there's a lot of women who haven't had that much success, who haven't had a score, they're struggling to make it, they're aspiring to make it. How do you feel like your interactions with those people? Because I feel like, you were sort of in that situation, even a year ago. How do you feel like you interact with those people right now?
I mean, I feel like I interact with them like I would any other human being at the table.
Yeah, so it's not anything, it's not treating them different like that.
Oh no. I mean, like, there are occasions when I go out of my way to talk to other women at the table because I want to be, like, welcoming.
Mm-hmm.
There are occasions when I don't do that, which could, like, read as unfriendly, but that's just sort of my general disposition at the poker table, is I don't really talk to people. I, like, never talk to the men around me, like, in a tournament, not in a cash game. So I, like, that could come off as unfriendliness, but it's.
So you're not like Jessica Dolly, who sort of, like, I remember you guys said you Jessica Dolly became friends because she started chatting with you, or you guys started chatting. So you're not like you're not taking the really live ambassador role when it comes to, like, hey, let's bring this fucking female community together. Let's, like, make each other like girls or anything like that, the squad or anything like.
I really try to, like, be supportive and, like, loudly supportive of other women who are doing well in poker. Because there are just a lot of women who I really, really like who are doing well in poker right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that it's, like, good to sort of be a vocal cheerleader for those people.
Yeah.
But we haven't formed a club yet.
They need to form a club. There's some. I feel like someone
I
needs
really
to take
want to have a team.
Like, I've taken the reins from PLO in a way. So, like, like, take a. You get you and Liv on. Obviously, everyone loves Liv. She's, like, the most. Liv's cool. Liv Marie.
Yeah.
She's awesome. She's very seductive. Feels like.
Seductive.
I don't know. She seems like she could be very seductive.
Is that? I don't think that's a word.
Is that a word?
I don't think so.
I think that's a word.
I mean, I can understand like what it means.
Yeah,
but
yeah. What it means. I don't think the word. Listen, I'm
hard.
not professional. I'm not Ratush. I'm not like walking dictionary where I like have every word in my head and memorize, know how to spell it. So, yeah. That's not a word. Are you sure? Seductful?
Yeah.
Seducing? Seductive. Yeah. Okay. You fucking dictionary pros
Liv
out
is
there.
awesome.
Yeah, she's
More to the
cool.
point,
Yeah, she seems to be like the leader. Everyone loves Liv.
Yeah.
If you ever talk to Liv, you can't be like, I don't like her.
No.
I don't think you can.
I don't think it's possible.
She's like, oh, what's up, Cate? How are you? How are you doing? You're doing good. You look so great. You look so beautiful right now. Me and Igor are gonna go. We're gonna go up to the back. We're gonna go have a good time. Play some hockey or something. Like, yeah, that's what Liv does.
Like,
that's what she does.
You sound like a caricature of an Asian from a World War II propaganda film. That was like the worst British accent I've ever heard.
That was a bad one, huh? I got a better one. Hold on, damn it, man. All right, give me your Liv impression.
I don't have
Oh,
one.
come on, you can't like say as a word. You can't say that and then not throw me back something too.
Like not even trying.
No. That's nitty. You can't be nitty. You gotta try something. Let's hear it. Come on.
Give me something to say.
I love Igor. He is the best. I love his hair. It's so crazy. He looks like Jesus. I'm sponsored by Poker Stars. Mine's Liv Burry.
My name's Liv Burry. I'm sponsored by.
What the fuck? How do you do that? Holy, wait a second. That was a minute. I need a couple more sentences, please.
I'm sponsored by Poker Stars, and I think that Igor's hair is just amazing.
You want to say you love him?
I love him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was like sort of a mix between British and Australian. That was kind of weird. Wow. Liv has actually the best accents I've ever heard. She can do.
Debatable. Oh, she is. Yeah.
She can do like
she's
any
sick.
accent.
Yeah, she's sick.
Amazing.
We need to get Liv on the cat pod, man. For sure. She's got these like.
We found a copy of like Lord of the Rings last night when we were hanging out just on the street, and she started reading part of it out loud and did like the best Shire accent, like I guess Irish, I've ever heard. It was like the narration from Lord of the Rings.
It's pretty sick.
It was amazing. That's one of my favorite.
Shout out to Liv, man. What else we got here on that thing? We got a lot of comments out here. Cate Hall going to be the face of New Jersey Poker Stars.
Obviously.
My name ain't Earl. Shout out to my boy Earl. What's up, Gus? What up, puppy? What do you think about that? New Jersey coming back, Poker Stars. Do you think you got a spot? You got a spot on the team? Is there a spot down for you in Atlantic City on the team, on Poker Stars team?
Yeah, I think I'm probably gonna get a sponsorship.
Give me your pitch. Give me you got 20 seconds. Shout out to Gary Gates, man. Give Gary a little 20-second pitch right now, man.
I don't live in New Jersey and I don't play online poker, so I'm a great candidate for this.
I don't think that matters. I don't even think that. No, I don't think that matters.
Okay.
Chris Moneymaker doesn't play online. He's sponsored by. I mean, that's obviously extreme, but I mean, we hold Cate Hall in some high regards here. Like, I don't think that matters.
I do have the cult of personality, so
I think you could still be one. Try one more time.
Pick me.
Yeah, there you go. All right, can I do Cate Hall? Can I do a Cate Hall thing?
Yeah, do a pitch for me.
Okay. New Jersey, I'd really like to be a sponsored player. I think that I can really help spread awareness for the feminist movement here in the United States.
You just lost the job.
No, I don't. Damn it! I don't know. What am I saying? I messed up. Damn it! I try to get really precise in my wording and get and speak a little slower because I talk fast and just sound smarter, sound more proper in my wording because I just get kind of a little ghetto sometimes and
you get excited.
I get really excited.
Yeah.
I can't help an excited person. Like I
know.
It's easy that you seem well, Joe. Well, Joe, it's a serious question you're asking me right now. I feel like from my delegation perspective, a large amount of the time spent propaganding the moratorium is spent, I don't know, stuff like that. It sounds so good. You're just like, yeah, I agree with her so much. So
it's hard to picture the person with that voice not wearing glasses.
Yeah, I'm doing a very Hollywood accent impression of you, by the way. So no, yeah, Hollywood, yeah, just something like that. Do you have an impression of me, by any chance?
No, other than like, what's up, Poppy? Is
that really it? That's it? That's all I say?
You don't have any like catchphrases other than that.
True.
Shout out to my boy Fritz in the chat. Yeah. Poppy.
And I do the flex thing, right? And I do like the yeah, that's true. That's true. You kind of got. I mean, you're skinny, but you work out. Are you like one of the kids that works out? You're just naturally skinny. Like you're. So for those who know, Kate's like at the award, she was wearing heels and she was a little bit shorter than me. But I'm like pretty tall, so I was surprised. You were like.
I was like 6'1", 6'2".
Yeah, you're like 6'2", and I was like.
Yeah.
I'm like stand up. I'm like, Kate, why are you like eye level with me right now? I'm like perplexed what's happening right now. So.
Yeah, I don't break them out too often because I'm just a freak. I'm so tall.
Yeah, you were like, yeah, because I think in my shoes I was wearing, I was like 6'3" or something. I couldn't believe you were like in my face. Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck is Kate? I mean, it's cool though. I gotta say, it's awesome. Like, it's really cool having like I don't want to say shouts at my 5'7" girlfriend. Shout out to Fritz Barnes in the chat, but I think taller is better. You can look person in the face.
Fun. I never have to wear high heels if I don't want to, so I just like feel comfortable. That's a nice advantage of being tall.
Yeah, that's true. How do you think people treat you differently because you're a tall woman, or do you think people sort of like, it's kind of indifferent?
I don't think people care, other than they'll like comment on it. That's about
it's the first thing. There. Wow, you're really tall.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. What about these last few months? Obviously, WPT Player of the Year, you're aspiring for that, which obviously you're going to win. What about hobbies outside of poker? Has your life become just poker and sort of chilling by yourself? And
my life is like pretty poker centric right now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to like make an effort to spend more time with other humans and spend time reading and doing things like that I enjoy, and not just thinking about and playing poker 100% of the time, because it's probably not the best thing for you long term.
It's debatable.
I mean, I think spending like a ton of time is good. Probably having some time off every week where you're doing non-poker stuff is like good for your mental outlook.
Why?
I don't know. It's just like what everybody seems
theoretically,
to agree.
Right? Yeah.
That's the consensus.
I think so.
I'm trying it at least. And then if I don't really feel like it's like improving my life, then I don't have to keep doing it.
I mean, I gotta
just like experiment with it.
I don't necessarily agree with that. I mean, I think like right now I'm 100% different than how I was a couple years ago when I was sort of like in the place that you're at in poker, where it's been, I was only taking it seriously for a couple years. I mean, this is like 4 years into it. Never mind. Like seriously, I was seriously taking poker 4 years. I was only poker all the time.
Right.
Like that's it. I have no regrets. I hear a lot of people say like balance. I'm like, fuck balance, man. I'm poker. Like that's it. That's all I was. I wasn't anything else. And I think that, I don't necessarily know if it messes up your mindset. I think it's like,
not. I mean,
I think it's
when
like,
you really enjoy it, it's not really that hard to sustain working constantly.
I agree. What does this comment say? All right, Ace, hi. That's a bannable offense forever.
We have 20 minutes left.
What time is the person coming?
We have to be out of here by 9:15.
By 9:15?
Yeah.
All right, we got 20 minutes left. Who's coming here right now?
The person that we're renting this Airbnb from is like coming to move furniture. Let's not waste our 20 minutes with.
Let's not waste our 20 minutes. Let me get the list real quick. Other podcasts you've been on? Yeah, you've been podcast horning it up. I don't like that. You just posted a fucking podcast today with another person. What's the thing? That's like, I'm like playing cleanup right now, man. I'm like this. I'm like the third guy in the gangbang here. The fourth guy in the. I hate just being like the fourth guy in there, man.
Good metaphor, yeah.
I like being the. Yeah, like. What you ever see? You watch? Whatever. It's okay. What kind do you watch?
No, that's. I think that we covered that already in my first.
No, you didn't answer.
Okay.
What kind do you watch?
Yeah, I'm still not going to answer it.
Why?
Because.
You like the key stuff.
My mom's going to watch this.
Your mom's not watching this.
My mom has watched
the entire thing.
2 podcasts.
Oh, well, shout out to your mom.
Yeah.
Mrs. Hall, what's up? How are you doing? Nice to see you.
What
do you think? She doesn't think you do that?
She just doesn't need to know the details. We can talk about whatever. We can talk about drugs.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you think drugs is better than porn.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. I already know anyway. I have an idea. Let me look at the list here. What are your plans coming up here for the next, what are we, March? Holy shit, it's March. March, yeah. April, May, 3 months. What's your Poppy Bell analogy again? Come on, man. No, that's like, I mean, it's all right. I don't get the Cate. I can't be perfect. I'm learning, man. Okay, you should have heard me 2 years ago. Go ahead. Plans for the next 3 months here.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take the next few days off, and then I'm going to Bay 101, where I'm gonna be a shooting star, and I'm kind of excited about that. Yeah.
Oh, big time, Cate Hall. She's a shooting star now this year. Did you even play that event last year?
No.
And now you're a shooting star.
Yeah.
Shout out to Cate, man. What's a shooting star mean? They knock you out at
They
Bay
get like a $2,500
101?
bounty.
That's cool. Yeah. That's awesome. Okay.
So I'm doing that, and then I'm doing Rolling Thunder.
That's in Oklahoma?
No, that's in like Sacramento.
What fucking idea? I'm sorry. Shout out to
Sacramento.
I believe I actually may have met the Rolling Thunder poker room director at the awards or conference Saturday. So
Well then.
I'm not a geography pro. I don't have my globe here right now. Okay. I don't know where I have my globe normally. So Rolling Thunder sounds very Oklahoma-y.
It sounds middle of the country
for sure. It doesn't sound like Sacramento. It doesn't make sense. All right. So Rolling Thunder. What else after that?
Then I'm gonna be home for like a few weeks in DC, and then going to Florida for the WPT, like last 2 events of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm then flying to Durant, I think, to film Poker Night in America.
Head spinning. Usually people answer this question. It's a much easier answer. This is now you're doing things. You're big time, Cate. So when you go to these events now, what do you guys, is it still action, play it on your own? What do you like, what's your approach been to that? Because a lot of people get a big score, they just play it on their own. But a lot of people maybe get a full-time staker, they sell individual actions for different tournaments.
I still do it like on a case-by-case basis, and there are I'm not bankrolled to play LAPC.
A lot of people aren't bankrolled to play LAPC events. They play it all on their own.
I can like justify taking my own action in a 3,500, but not in events bigger than that. So for these, I sell like a portion of my action, depending on what the buy-in is and what the field is like and stuff like that. And yeah, but I'm not swinging for the fences just because I've been running well the past few months. I'm not going to like do anything stupid from a bankroll perspective. That's
good. That's boring to hear, but good to hear.
I know it's like boring.
That's like the smart way to be, but we always like the degen stories. But obviously, like people I like them to take a more GTO approach to, I guess that's GTO, debatable GTO, to pursuing these tournaments, pursuing being a tournament player. All right, so now you're focused on what comes with WPT Player of the Year besides like just the bragging rights of saying like WPT Player of the Year.
You get so you get some trinkets and stuff. You get hotel accommodations, I think, for the whole next season, which would be like that's worth a fair amount of money. And mostly just like bragging rights.
Yeah.
I would kind of like to be the first woman to do it. So
that's awesome.
Gunning for it. Yeah.
Shout out to my buddy Cosmo in the chat. What's up, John Puppy? John, let me know if you're still in San Diego, man. We're going to basketball again tomorrow night. Let me know if you want to come. But shout out to John. Cosmo, John McGowan? You might not. He's cheating on cash games like you.
The tournament.
Because he had some tournament success at Ocean's 11 down in San Diego, where you like got top something in tournament. Now he thinks he's a fucking tournament pro and playing all these LAPC events and stuff like that. So
what an idiot.
Fucking dunk, man. It's too. Yeah, I know. You give me the unhappy face. Look at him, man. Now he's sad. No, look at him, man. He's saying, he's sad. Papi, don't be so sad. I'm coming out of San Diego soon.
Only 5-1 that Cate voted for Hillary in the primary.
Who did you vote for in the primary? Bernie Sanders. I don't follow much politics outside of Donald Trump.
I have not voted yet, but I would vote for Bernie Sanders.
Okay. Yeah. Does that make you hateful to some people? Do people hate that about you?
I mean, I'm sure that yes, but most of my close friends are either voting for him or accepting of people who are.
Torrance says Cate Hall is beautiful, but looks like she will kill you in your sleep.
Yeah. Good read.
You really look like you'd kill someone in your sleep, to be honest, kid. I mean, you call it like I see it. You look like you'd kill someone in your sleep. So. Yeah. Are you in Burning Man this year? You are, aren't you?
I think I am.
Sure. You're for sure going to Burning Man this year. I cannot wait till.
You're the third person to ask me that.
No, I'm not.
2 days.
I wasn't really asking. I knew you were going to go.
Okay.
For sure. I know you're Burning Man. You got Burning Man
written all over you. I've got the right mentality for it. I think.
For sure. I think so. I've got some crazy tents there. Allegedly, I heard there's this tent where like people just have sex in the tent. That's it.
Allegedly.
I've never been there. I've never been there. Okay, I've never been in this tent. I don't know about the tent. I just heard allegedly about this tent. So that's sort of what I think about Burning Man. I think of LSD. I think about poker players coming on my podcast and talking really, really exciting about Burning Man. So we got to play this back. When you go to Burning Man, we want to play it. We're going to jump the pot again. You're going to talk about Burning Man. And there's going to be a difference when you say Burning Man in your tone of voice and the way that you talk about it afterwards. And we're going to come back.
Burning Man.
No, you're going to be like, Joe, let me tell you, it was so great. We had I'm talking like a little valley right now, but that's kind of I can't do. Not really.
I sound fairly valley girl, but
a little bit. Yeah, I guess that's true.
I got a lot of likes in my everyday.
Do you?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It seems out of line for Cate Hall.
It sort of comes and goes.
Yeah, you can't say like.
I used to say it constantly, having grown up in like the West Coast, and tried to train myself out of it when I moved to the East Coast because it was not viewed favorably there, but it still sort of comes into my especially when I feel nervous at all, I start saying it more and more.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I think that everyone's like that when they're nervous. They say like when they don't know exactly what they want to say, they start stumbling over their words. Right. Yeah, they have more speech fillers if they're unsure. But when you're speaking about something you're confident on, all of a sudden it just flows right out and you sound like the smartest person in your own brain when you say something. Yeah. So I've been noticing when I get like drunk, it's a standard probably. When I get drunk and I'm trying to like have a sound smart in a conversation, I like my words stumble and I like get really tilted, but I can't do anything about it. Like it's I've never had that problem before though. So I don't know how to fix this. I wonder if people are like that. Like their brain thinks one thing and they say completely something else, or they stumble over their words. And I wonder if people are like that all the time though, where that's their full time have that happen with them. So
I would think so.
It has to be.
Whenever you have people really paying attention to what you're saying, I feel that.
Yeah. Did you hear about this new show, Girl Got Game, reality poker show, made by Katrina Lim?
Exists.
Yeah, it's with Katie Kwok, Sophia Lovegoren, Onwa. I can't say her last name. Sabina, I don't know her last name for sure. D Moon Girl, Shawn Lu, current member of the GPL, and I'm forgetting one other person. It's 8 or 9 total. So it's a reality show with just women, and they'll be doing competitions, cash games, traveling around, stuff like that. What do you think about that idea? I like it, but I'm open to hating it too. If you tell me we gotta hate it, it's fine.
No, I mean I like the idea of it. I really love the idea of like having a show about interesting women doing interesting things. My only like fear with it is that it veers too far into cutesy territory and makes it seem like sort of takes the tone of, isn't it adorable that these girls are playing poker and like trying to think and stuff. And I think since there's a female producer, there's less risk of that happening. But like that's the only thing that makes me hesitate when I'm thinking about it, as opposed to just being really excited about it.
Yeah,
but I love the people who are on it too.
For sure, I think that's a good thing. I think the cast that they picked is great. I think like Kitty gets a lot of love from people. I think like Sophia Lovegoren, I don't know much about her except that she blocked me on Twitter for no fucking reason, except I may have put the hashtag 888poker. She always put it on Twitter. I can't think of any other reason. I never communicated with the kid, but she banned me on Twitter. Shout out to her. And I think I'm gonna have them on a pod. So
I think Danielle is awesome. Shawn is
I don't know much about these people. I don't know much about the Demon Girl. I know she's obviously seems really well liked. I don't know much about, but aside the fact that they're well liked, I think Demon Girl is well liked. Shawn Lu very well liked too. I think the other 2 German girls, they're not as well known. I think there's what's her name? Joanne Pollock, something like that. This Polish blonde girl is on the show as well too. I've never heard her name before, so I don't know much about her. But they seem like they're really cool, like really nice people from the stuff I've watched on them.
It seems like they did a good job casting it. So
they didn't cast my girl Cate Hall though, so it makes me a little.
So how good could the show really be?
That's what I'm saying. My girl Sam Abernethy's not on the show. My girl Cate Hall's not on the show. I'm a little tilted by that, but that's okay. Like I can live with just these people on the show. So but I'm excited for that to happen. We got 10 minutes. Let's talk about GPL real quick. So Global Poker League, obviously, you weren't drafted. I thought you were going to draft for sure. I was disappointed for that. Pour out a little liquor that night. You didn't get picked, but why do you think you didn't get picked?
I think I didn't get picked because there were a lot of people who are more qualified.
This is like a half troll question, but it's so great. It's like I say these things so fucking seriously that you just like, is he being serious or is he trolling? But like half the things I say sometimes are just a big troll. So it's fun to ask these questions.
I don't mind answering it.
I know, but it's like fun because I know it's kind of like you just start playing in theory.
Yeah.
You probably wouldn't get picked.
Right.
Because
like I have like 6 months of results.
Yeah, exactly. You just start playing, but at the same time, like I could see you get picked because like Cate Hall, who doesn't want Cate Hall, man?
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
That's my big pitch.
I heard Cate Hall. I mean, I heard your pitch earlier, so it's not the best pitch, but I think wild card. Huh? You don't think you can be wild card status?
And anything could happen. I just think that there are so many really good players who still haven't been picked, and there are people who have more like draw than me on a personality level.
Who? Women? Is that not true? Oh, that's not a lot. I see your point. Okay.
Celebrities.
Okay, I see your point.
They could.
Like who?
I don't even know, but like, I mean, you can play poker casually and be a part of this.
Yeah, I don't think you need to.
Like, Shannon Elizabeth could get picked for GPL, and that would probably be a really good decision on a marketing level if you were willing to do it. Like, there are people like that.
I wonder. It's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard much more about the wildcard stuff, so I'm not sure exactly what to expect from that. But overall, GPL, you excited about it? You up or down? You think it's going to be cool?
I think it'll be cool. I mean, I don't fully understand what the actual format of it is because it varies over the course of the season. Yeah. So it kind of like depends on what form it takes. I think it could potentially be really interesting and exciting to watch.
C. Luther in the chat says, as a lawyer, what does you think of the contract? Some people say it's bad for the players.
I did not spend as much time sort of breaking apart the contract as some other players did.
Shout out to my boy Tristan. What's up, Tristan? Puppy?
My sense from like reading the things that were tweeted about was that it was a pretty standard contract and pretty reasonable for poker players. I think the objection was that players didn't get to keep a larger percent of revenues. And it's just like,
that's how it is. That's the way things work in contract world. Because you've seen a lot of contracts, I feel like, right? Or have you not seen a lot of contracts?
I mean, I haven't seen a ton for like this industry or analogous industries, obviously. But I mean, it's like a league where they're paying all of your expenses. You have like an opportunity to profit significantly. And like the fact that the league is taking a percentage of revenue just seems completely normal to me. And like the players are actually getting a really good deal overall. So I don't know. It didn't seem like, honestly, a fair criticism to me. But I could easily be misunderstanding something about it.
Okay. Guys in the chat, we got a couple more minutes, 5-6 minutes left. Give me some questions. My boy Cosmo says, do they put up their own buy-ins for GPL? There are no buy-ins for the events, sir. They are sponsored. They're put on by the Global Poker League. At the end of the league, there'll be a winner. That team will then split a predetermined prize pool. I believe it's $100,000 right now. And that will be basically what?
No, nothing. I'm listening.
Oh, that'll be how they're awarded for these things. There's no buy-ins for the events. There's different events. They'll be online and also in a cube style event. Online will be heads-up matches. We'll be able to see the cards in a separate platform. Live will be in a cube. You'll be able to see the cards on the stream and in the audience if you're in the audience. That'll be a 6-max competition in terms of brackets.
I'm super interested to see how that works. Like, I don't even know. I don't have an informed
Deep stack, short stack. I have no fucking idea.
Yeah.
I have no idea what's going to happen. It's a complete free roll in terms of free roll in playing, but for your time, it still depends on how you value your time. I mean, you might value your time.
Yeah, the only issue is opportunity cost.
Right. Like if you're traveling or if you're doing this, you're doing that, well then you're not going to want to go play this event. You might perceive as little value to you immediately when there might be a tournament or something else you want to play. So I think that's where the free roll aspect of things might be a little bit
I mean, I would like play for much less than is offered in the contract, me personally, just because it would be such a cool experience. Yeah.
I think so. Guys in the chat, give me a couple questions. Cosmo says, Joey, can you be a GPL caster? I don't think so. I'm not big time enough yet. I'm not Phil Hellmuth or Daniel Grano on the commentary stuff. So
That would have been a nice addition, though. Yeah.
So we'll see. I'd rather just start playing tournaments and get on and get drafted on the.
That's the other route. Yeah.
Yeah, you can get up on me. Yeah. All right. We'll give a shout out to Marco. What's up, Marco? What's your opinion on Holomex? No opinion.
I don't know. I've not seen anything more about it than Alex Dreyfus occasionally tweeting stuff about it. I don't even know what it is.
Motherfucker loves retweeting things for sure. He's on a retweeting spree. I love it. I'm gonna retweet anytime anybody mentions me too. I'm gonna start retweeting all those things too. I like it. It's a good.
Do you know what it is? Holdemex?
Yeah.
What is it?
Of course I know. Why would you not know Holdemex?
Okay,
Everybody knows what Holdemex is. It's like esports. There's 10 or 15 cards. You choose cards at the beginning by points. Each card is assigned a point value determined by them. You then get the cards in your hand. You get to play them in different opportunities. You get 2 cards like Hold'em. Right now it's sit and go format. Okay. In terms of chips, blind levels go up, and you can play the cards in different parts of the street. And they change some cards, or you get an extra card, or yeah.
Cool.
Something like that. Fun. I talk too fast. I gotta slow the fuck down. 3 minutes left. Joey, join me. No, I'm not. What's your opinion on Jason Moe? Adoy says, troll or not? Seems like it pains her to give compliments. Nick says.
Who?
Jason Moe.
Oh, what about him?
What is her opinion on J-Mo?
I don't know. He seems like a smart guy and kind of an asshole a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not even to say that I have a bad impression of him. I totally don't. He definitely trolls people on Twitter a lot and tries to rile people up. But I've never met him, and yeah, I can't really have an informed opinion.
Earl says, how many tattoos does she have?
I think like 7.
1, 2,
I would need to count.
3.
Most of them you're not going to be able to see.
Are they hidden?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. I will never see those.
I have 8.
What do you mean 8? You forget you have a tattoo.
Yeah. I don't count them.
How many are like, if I'm standing up and I'm clothed, how many are hidden? All of them?
I mean.
I only see 1.
1.
2.
See that one?
Okay. Shout out the wrist tattoos. I got 1 too.
I've got like 1 on my back that you can see.
Okay. You have this one too?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the others are all hidden.
Okay. We'll never see those. See, Luther says, has Joey played the tournament yet for their World Series of Poker bet? So me and Kate made a bet. I was supposed to play Nolan Holden tournament. I haven't played that yet. I played an online Nolan Holden tournament. Does that count? Really? Can I play like the Colossus or something cool like
you can
that?
Play the Colossus.
All right, I'm gonna play the tournament for the World Series of Poker thing because we made a bet on the final table on November 9, and you had Joe McKeon, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can totally play the Colossus.
Okay, I'm gonna play Nolan Holden tournament during the World Series of Poker. So, guys, that's it. We're gonna wrap it up. If you want to follow Cate on Twitter, it's @CateHall and
I don't know how that works.
@CATE Hall.
Yeah.
As found in the title of this video on YouTube if you're watching, or on the title of iTunes if you're watching on iTunes or listening on iTunes. So, guys in the chat, much love. Had a lot of good questions. Couldn't get to them all. Next podcast, I have no fucking idea when it'll be. I'm going to be out here in LA for an unknown period of time. If you're in LA, hit me up. Let me know. Let's get after it. Let's get to it. I don't say no to anything. All right, I'm not going to say no to anything. But anytime anyone asks me something, I'm not going to say no to anything. Within reason.
Within reason.
Calm down, Poppy. I know what kind of, you got crazy ideas in your head. It's cool. So, guys in the chat, much love. I'm out. Let's go. Peace out. See you later.